to go real quick. Use the. I'm gonna go real quick. Use the restroom, and if we
and we are live.
Yeah, we're live. I just started
Hi, everybody.
and then we'll sync up here in a sec.
Ooh.
Oh God, there's an eyeball.
Somebody's gears are grinding.
The thing I saw was an eyeball staring back at me. It was very scary.
Do you have scopophobia?
Yes.
I think that's what it's called. Fear of eyeballs.
Scopophobia?
Yeah, let's see. Scopophobia.
Maybe.
Wait for Google. Google's being a jerk. An anxiety disorder characterized by a morbid fear of being seen or stared at by others. I was close. It can also be associated with a pathological fear of drawing attention to oneself. I don't have that.
What is the fear of dragons?
Dragonophobia.
It's never that simple. It'd have to be like Angerophobia or something. Some like
phobia is Greek, right?
Yeah, sure.
Dracophobia would be mixing languages, but
okay. But what we need to know is if arachnophobia is the fear of arachnids, then what is the genus for dragon? Then we know what our dragonophobia is.
All of our subscribers. Hang on,
Gene's like, what the hell just happened?
I'm Googling fear of dragons. Just hold tight.
I swear to God, if it's dracophobia, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Well, my internet kicks into gear. Dracophobia.
Is it?
Yeah, dracophobia.
That's it? Wow.
I nailed it, and that was just a lucky guess.
Fun fact, a fear of mermaids is serenophobia.
That makes sense.
How does that make sense?
Because there's a reason for this. Hang on, it's on my tongue.
I would be so sad if I had a fear of dragons.
All right, let's sync up.
Mermaid's called a siren. So siren-phobia. There we go.
Sirenophobia. Okay, yeah, you're right. It's
actually serenophobia, but close, yes.
But I think it's a derivative.
Yeah.
What's the fear of humans?
That's just being a big old weirdo. That's what that is.
That's called.
If any of you out there have a fear of humans, forgive me for that. Don't unsubscribe, please.
This guy, right?
In fact, make a second account and double subscribe. That'll teach me.
All right, let's sync up. And oh God, the cats are knocking shit over. Stuff's getting real over there. Let's sync up in 3, 2, 1. Lucas, what you at?
I was at 44 seconds when we snapped our fingers.
Okay. Steve?
13:37.
And Justin?
7:30-ish.
They start so much earlier than
ish. Right?
7:30-ish.
Did you guys all pick an article? Okay, Justin's got 2. Oh yeah, that makes sense. You're just going to combine those ones. That actually works. Okay, cool. That works. All right, then let's get rolling. Keep in mind, Lucas, you're on deck for news. We have a announcement first off, so it might be a little bit of a longer intro because we have the 2 announcements actually. So
just throw it to me when it's my turn.
I will. When I get talking too much, yeah, I'm gonna just throw it to one of you random people who looks handsome. So looking at you, Steve.
Well, I'm out.
All right, here we go. Let me make a note here in Audacity.
God, you inhaled and everything. I thought we were there. Like, here we go. Let me make a note in Audacity.
Welcome to.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Infendo Radio. This is episode 434. I was scrambling between my three screens to figure out what number it was, but we're here. It's
Mr. Three Screens.
It's the 18th of March. It's been we're here. We're ready to rock and roll. We've got a few things to talk about beforehand, but first I want to toss it off to all of my handsome co-hosts. How are you doing tonight, Justin?
What's up, my Nintendo fans?
That is not where I thought that was going.
I will roll with it, and I will toss it off to my fellow Nintendo fan, Steve. How are you doing tonight? You're wearing an awesome Infendo hoodie.
I am rocking an official Infendo hoodie tonight. I am hotter than hell because I've been waiting for this. Now I'm going to take it off.
In more ways than one.
How are you doing tonight, Mr. Lucas?
Well, I'm contemplating whether we should make Steve stripping on the show a Patreon tier. But other than that, I'm doing pretty well.
Didn't we already make me not stripping on the show a Patreon tier?
Yeah, and we haven't hit it yet, so get stripping.
They add that to the terms and conditions. Thank God we can't do that.
We're not on Twitch.
But anyways, yeah, so we've got a big show tonight. We've actually got a couple of announcements to preface the show with. So let's start with well, I don't know which one's the bigger news, but let's start with one of the big ones. We actually purchased, with the help of former co-host Mike, a website known as Nintendo Fever. So we're actually in possession of NintendoFever.com and all of their content. So we're going to be working on getting that, back online. And then because there's, obviously Lucas and Mike and even Steve, they actually kind of came from Nintendo Fever. So it'd be a shame to have all that content lost. So we kind of worked the deal, and here we are. So Lucas, Steve, it sounds like you guys are probably the closest two people to Nintendo Fever. So what does this mean to you?
Well, if it wasn't for Nintendo Fever, I actually wouldn't be here today, because they kind of helped me get my start in podcasting. Thanks to Matt and Holly, and then a little bit from Lewis and Mike. So yeah, I really owe a lot to Nintendo Fever, so it's great to have it under our banner. And I know Lucas has a bit of history with them too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Steve, when I was like 10, I wrote articles on like oneup.com, and that was my very first like Nintendo thing. But then I dropped off because that was a thing. And then a while back, I went on. I think I got my start on podcasts with Holly and Mike. I'm sure Mike could tell you more about that if you find him on social media. But the long and short of it is, I've been with Nintendo Fever for about a year, I think, before I ended up leaving. Shortly after Mike decided he was leaving the site. And yeah, I'm kind of happy to see it back again. Like, it brings back a lot of warm fuzzies for me. So we're not entirely sure yet what our master plan is for the site. We're still talking some things over together, but as soon as we know what it is we want to do with our new sister site, I guess you could call it, we will let you know.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really exciting. We're like exactly kind of like what Lucas said. We don't exactly know, but when we know, we'll let you know. But what's really important, at least to me, is that all of that content isn't going to be lost. Like there's a lot of podcasts over there. Like I know Steve at least did one special edition Pokemon podcast. So that's all going to be in our possession. So it's really cool. We're excited to do that.
Mike had a ton of stuff on that site too, and I know it was really important to him to get that back under our banner as well. So, and it's actually very largely thanks to him that we started the process in the first place. So. Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, we're definitely owe Mike a big debt into this because he kind of pioneered the whole thing. So thank you, Mike. Mike's actually in the chat, so thank you for doing that. We really do appreciate you pioneering this for us. So this is going to be a new venture. It's going to be really cool. We'll see what happens next, But on to our other little bit of news. We actually have a second announcement to make tonight. So we are actually going to be moving podcast nights again. Sorry. There's just a
joke's on you, listeners.
Yeah, blame the Utah guy.
So we're going to be and Justin, actually this will be the first time you're hearing of this part, but we are going to be moving the show back to Wednesdays, which means that next week will be our final show recorded on a Sunday night. But we are planning on doing a Wednesday night kind of all Nintendo show on the 4th, because that would mean we wouldn't have a podcast for over 7 days if we didn't do a podcast on the 4th. It's just going to be a short little podcast episode, so we'll do that at that time, as our first little test run of moving it back to Wednesday night. But yeah, moving back to Wednesdays. Podcast is going to be posted back on Mondays again, so look forward to that.
Why is the 28th? The first I know of it, I was in this conversation.
Oh, did I say 28th? I'm sorry, the 25th.
No, you said the 4th.
The 4th would be Wednesday,
right? The 4th would be our first Wednesday, but I thought that we were gonna have a show on the 25th, like always, and then we were gonna do a show on the 28th.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, I know you're right. You're right. I misspoke. So it would be the 28th. Yeah.
Eugene, I'm starting a Google Calendar for at least the two of us.
Yeah, right. So the long and short of it is we've got a regular show on the 25th on Sunday, like always. Then we're going to do a show on Wednesday, the 28th, so we don't have a huge gap. And then from then on, we'll be doing shows on Wednesday. But that show on the 28th is just going to be a Nintendo show, so that's the thing.
Right.
Sorry for that.
Yeah, sorry for my mishap there. We literally just talked about this too, so my bad. But anyways, yeah. So we're going to be moving on to the show part of the show. So let's move into the news. So Lucas, you are on deck, and tell me about let's talk about fucking Sonic.
It's Eugene's favorite topic. We're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. Sega had this big thing, and they talked about all kinds of cool news and stuff. One of the first things we heard about was Sonic Mania is getting a Plus version, Sonic Mania Plus. It will be getting a physical release on Switch, which is super cool because, as far as I understand it, that was never a thing before. It will also be available as an add-on to the already downloaded version if you already own the game. And it's going to be adding 2 new characters who are both very old characters who I think started in Knuckles Chaotix. We're getting Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel. Those are really old characters that nobody who's just played modern Sonic would even know about. But they're classic Sonic characters, and we're getting them in Sonic Mania, which is the best Sonic game in years. So that's really cool. That version, the Plus version, is going to have all kinds of crazy stuff. It's going to have art books and pictures and a reversible cover that looks amazing, like an old Genesis box. If you're a Sonic fan, that's really exciting news. The other bit of news we got is what they're currently calling Project R. It's a blacked out screen that kind of has the traditional Sonic ring with wings logo. And then it has the word racing, but only the letter R is highlighted in red. And it really brings back those memories of Sonic R for the computer and whatnot, which was the first Sonic racing game and probably the most infamous. But it's cool. It looks like we've got some new Sonic news coming out, and I always like that because I like Sega and I like seeing what they do. So get excited for that if you are a Sonic fan. If you detest Sonic, hide yourself now because Lucy will be talking about this as news develops. But I very much enjoy Sonic games. I very much enjoy racing games. Sonic racing games are always a treasure. So
I was going to say I would play Sonic Racing because wasn't the last Sonic Racing game supposed to be pretty good? I never got to play it, but it was supposed to be
All Stars and whatever transformed. Yeah, and there was a rumor about a month ago that this racing title wouldn't be an All Stars game like the other ones. It's not Sega, it's just Sonic again, which is actually good for me because, frankly, as much as I love Sega, I don't really care about any of their other IPs like I do about Sonic. So for me, all Sonic is good in the same way that Mario Kart should mostly just be Mario, I like those one series.
So Lucas, since you're kind of our resident Sonic expert, have they actually confirmed the Plus update is going to be free for owners of the digital version, or is it going to be paid DLC?
I don't think they said anything about it being free. I'd assume it would be paid because why would we get more content unless the Plus version is going to be the same price? I just doubt it will be. But we really don't have any news on that I've been made aware of yet.
Gotcha. Because I know that the Plus physical version is coming with some extra stuff, so it makes sense that it would be $30. So I was just curious if you had heard anything more on that since.
If I had to guess, and this is purely speculative, but if I had to guess, I would assume that maybe like the Plus version will be a little more expensive if it's a physical release because of that extra stuff. Right. And maybe it'll be like a $5 or a $10 download for us, depending on what content we're getting.
Yeah, which I'm perfectly fine with. I liked that game enough to where I will continue to support it.
Yeah, but it's just one of those,
I'm going to jump in and say that I'm actually excited about this Sonic News. If for only the reason that there's going to be a physical version coming out, because that's really the only reason I haven't purchased it yet. Because Heather actually wants to play this game, the Sonic Mania, so this is going to be perfect for me to actually buy a Sonic title.
Yeah, I've had my eye on Sonic Mania for a while, so with all this new stuff, that might be enough for me to pull the trigger, especially since Yooka-Laylee still has not dropped in price.
So will you get the physical version then, Justin, or will you spring for the digital version? Just curious.
No, I'm going digital.
Okay.
I especially with the new rewards program, I'm going to be going digital as much as possible from now on because, I want that 5% back.
Right.
I'll be honest, as the rabid DeviantArt Sonic fan that I am and was as a child, if it's not much more expensive, I would consider getting the physical version just to have it, because it's I like buying physical games that I really like, and I really liked Mania. I played it 4 times in 20 minutes. I love it. So I
bought Shovel Knight. I'm with you.
What a surprise. Lucas talking about Sonic brought us all the way to the buzzer.
Exactly. It's my thing. You knew it was going to happen.
That's amazing. All right, so let's move on to the next bit of news. I'm still in shock that I am excited about a little bit of Sonic news. So,
and we have it recorded on YouTube. You can't take it back. Listeners have heard this.
Justin, why don't you tell me about why JZ Beast has been real?
Before we start, did I miss the part where we're supposed to?
Oh yeah, you're right. Actually, no joke. But I forgot. We need to start adding that to the show notes. So as our Patreon has gotten to $250. We have to lick Switch cartridges this week. I actually decided to choose Splatoon 2 because that's what I have right here. What's everybody else choosing this time?
Well,
in honor of all the Sonic news, I will be licking Sonic Forces. I expect it to be a delicious taste that only lasts for about a minute. So let's see how that goes.
I completely forgot about this segment, so hopefully Skyrim tastes better the second time around than it did the first.
And I'm going to be using my Lickitung.
Oh God, what is
it's
that?
Puckin, isn't it?
It's Puckin. Yeah, camera's headphones.
Eugene's
play
like,
a little bit of lick
confused.
that Pokemon.
Gentlemen, commence.
That's really bad. No.
It doesn't get any better.
No.
Oh,
Lucas, how does Sonic taste?
Get used to it. Oh, it tastes like blueberries and happiness, Steve. It's so good.
Oh, you mean kind of like the Mario
cereal?
cereal?
And then your tongue licks the roof of your mouth, and it's stuck in the roof of your mouth, and then it feels like you're exhaling poison.
Oh my God.
Thank God I made my wife take me to Starbucks.
Eugene's face that he just made almost made me spit coffee all over my monitor.
Fun fact, too, for anybody listening who doesn't go to our Discord, I'm pretty sure the patrons are planning on making our faces have licked those cards into Discord emojis if they haven't already. So that's something to look forward to. Oh, God, it makes 7-Up taste so bad.
I also need to throw this out there. JZ Beast in chat says, lick that Gardevoir. And then he says, lick that Rouge, Lucas.
Oh, God.
Well, speaking of JZ Beast, he got a little bit of bad news this week.
That is a great segue.
Hopefully, none of y'all are using a third-party dock, and if you are, hopefully you haven't updated your Switch to 5.0, because apparently some combination of the two is actually bricking Switch systems. And I mean, the tricky part about this is that a lot of people's Switches are going to be out of warranty, since, you know, if you got a launch day Switch, you're past a year. The other part of it is, I don't think that matters, because using a third-party accessory could void your warranty altogether. So I don't know, good luck with that. The YouTuber who basically exposed the world to this problem, who uses the Nyko dock, which I believe is the most popular third-party dock out there, did manage to get he contacted Nyko about the problem, and they offered to replace his console, but we're not all, you know, famous YouTubers, so we might not all be eligible for that, you know,
Right.
that bone that they threw there. So, but yeah, that's doesn't really, nobody really knows which causes the problem, whether it's the firmware or the dock. Apparently Nyko has had issues with their dock before.
Yeah, can I jump in on that one for a sec, Justin?
Yeah, sure.
Matt Desmond, former Nintendo Fever podcast host, actually, he got a Nyko Switch dock for Christmas from his grandma or something like that, because she saw it in GameStop and thought, oh, that'll be a good idea. Well, it bricked his system.
Oh,
and, you know, he was able to get it replaced. But the shitty part about this is when you get your Switch replaced, you lose all of your save data. Like, he lost hundreds, if not thousands of hours worth of save data. And that's what's terrifying, is there's no way to back your stuff up right now.
Yeah, I completely
You can't transfer it to another system. It's a horrible problem. Like, I would probably not play the Switch for a few months if that happened to me.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that problem. I mean, as far as getting your system replaced by Nintendo, I will say that my experience with Nintendo's customer service is you do have one completely free repair or replacement for your lifetime. If anything ever happens and something's not covered by a warranty. They told me this when I was having trouble with my gamepad. I opted not to use it because it's just a gamepad, not a console. But if Nintendo gives you any trouble about it, you know, try to casually mention that and see if you can get the wheels rolling on that.
I kind of feel like, obviously Nintendo's got some blame in this, because, you know, their update seems to be the thing that's triggering this. But Nintendo expects you to use Nintendo products, you know, and they're operating with it. And I don't think they're like sabotaging their system to brick if you use outside stuff. I feel like the blame on this, if there's even blame to be had, goes more heavily with Nyko. But it's not like they have a way to test this ahead of time, you know? I mean, I assume they get the Switch updates right around the same time everybody else does, unless they're privy to some kind of like special developer, you know, ahead of time sourcing stuff for that kind of stuff. It's kind of one of those things where it's just an unfortunate circumstance that really isn't anyone's fault necessarily. I mean, definitely if it's anybody's fault, it's Nyko's. But like, it's just kind of bad work on both ends, I guess, really. Like,
yeah.
Well, and really the save data thing that Steve brought up is entirely
that's
Nintendo.
a Nintendo. Yeah, that's Nintendo not having the foresight to work through, you know, their own problem.
Right.
But
and I mean,
by the same standard, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it could be anything that causes this problem. So Nintendo really has to have a cloud save or an SD card save thing implemented soon.
Well, yeah, and you say that, but I mean, outside of this, I don't know how many other examples of bricking I've seen so far. Like, that's not to say that they shouldn't have that, because obviously it's common sense. But like, because, you know, if this is the only instance that's causing it, then, you know, I can understand why they'd be like, well, let's push it off for a year. Who cares? No one's going to get bricked, but it happens. People suffer for it. We're hoping that We're hoping that you don't suffer for it, JZ Beast. We're hoping there's some fix or workaround that we haven't learned of yet. But all the best, because that really sucks.
Yeah,
for sure.
we feel for you.
Tell them that you heard from a very popular Nintendo podcast that don't mention us by name because you're not supposed to know that information.
Well, yeah, then we'll get
No,
copyright.
do mention us by name, because then they'll take an interest in us, and no publicity is bad publicity.
Until they copyright strike every one of our streams for Nintendo's.
Right. That's kind of like how some indie developers like allow their games to be pirated, so that they could gain publicity. Oh, hey, speaking of indie games, Steve, don't you have an article to tell us about? Why don't you talk about it?
Well, I hate to say it, but this might be the first one where we don't really hit the timer on, because it's kind of a small article. We got an announcement. Oh, hey, yeah, that was a joke. I didn't even see it. We got an announcement on Friday, I guess it was, that we are getting a Nindy, because I know you guys love that, showcase for Nintendo Switch that's going to air next week. They've been doing these either once or twice a year. I can't remember. I know they do one in the spring. I can't remember if they do one in the fall. But basically what they do is it's all about indie games. They're going to give us updates and announcements and release dates and that kind of stuff. I don't think they've said how long this one is going to be, but unfortunately it's going to be Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, which is right when my weekly conference call is on. So that's going to be a little hard to watch while I'm at work this week. Hopefully my boss isn't listening. But the only thing I want to see out of this is a release date for King of Cards for the last Shovel Knight expansion, because along with King of Cards, we're also getting the Shovel Knight amiibo.
I was going to say the amiibo. That's what I want to hear about.
Well, Yacht Club Games has already announced that the amiibo will come out day and date with King of Cards. We just don't know when King of Cards is coming out yet.
So I'm hoping this is probably not going to happen at all. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask if there were any other indies you guys are looking forward to, because I honestly can't think of any off the top of my head.
There's Meat Boy Forever, which they haven't said much about. Runner 3 already has an announcement or a release date, so I don't think they'll talk much on it. I'm sure they'll show a trailer.
I'm still hoping we'll hear something about Shakedown Hawaii soon, but I don't think the developer even knows when that's going to be ready, because his Twitter account just says when it's ready 2018. So
I have two things that I want to have happen here, and neither of them is going to happen probably. But anyways, I'm hoping that they're tying this into Smash Bros somehow and saying that, hey, use your Shovel Knight amiibo in Smash Bros, and then it has like the Smash logo reflecting off of his fucking shovel or something like that.
Sign me up.
And then, so that would be really awesome. Number 2, I want that game that VR game that hasn't come out yet, that Beat Saber game. I want that to be like a Switch type of game.
I don't even care if it isn't VR, because the Joy-Con will be perfect for that gameplay anyway.
Oh my God, Eugene! I didn't even think of that.
And that was the first thing I thought when I saw the ad for that. Was like, that would be perfect with the Joy-Con. Also, Eugene, don't completely give up hope on Shovel Knight in Smash, because, as I've mentioned before, Nintendo publishes Shovel Knight in Japan. So
dude.
So it might be a little easier for them to get that tied down.
Well, and let's be real, if
Shovel Knight and Crash for Smash.
Any indie character is going to make it into Smash, it's probably going to be Shovel Knight, because he's just kind of like
he's everywhere.
He's currently the like indie character of choice, So.
Yeah, he's when you say indie, Shovel Knight is what people are thinking of right now.
He made it into ukulele, so
and Runbow, and he made it into Blaster Master Zero. He's everywhere.
So if we're talking games that are like, older games that I'd like to see ported to the Switch, I'd like to see like maybe Fez, Braid.
Rogue Legacy.
Rogue Legacy would be rad for sure.
I would give it another shot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I want to go buy Crypt of the Necrodancer now.
I honestly can't think of a single like game that would want to see an indie showcase. Not out of disinterest, just out of lack of creativity, I guess. I can't pull anything out of my head here to throw onto the canvas.
There is a petition, and this kind of goes to it. There's a petition going around now, which I put on my Twitter feed. It's to get a certain, and I don't know much about this, so Lucas, you may have to look up this tweet later and explain it to me. But there's a certain kind of programming code
HTML5.
that they're HTML5 that there's a petition going around to bring to Switch. If they could do that, they could actually get a crap ton more indie games. I know Lewis Q says that he would be willing to port over Twisted Fusion DX.
Yes,
I can export. I can export Q Adventure in HTML5 form.
Dude, Lucas, you need to sign that petition.
Yeah, that's actually something I'm interested in, because that would probably be my best bet to ever bring a game on the Switch or any Nintendo
would be
console.
amazing.
I would definitely get much more gameplay into Twisted Fusion if I had it on the Switch, and Lucas, I'd actually get to play your game.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know, because it's currently not Mac compatible. So.
Well, and I know that doesn't have anything to do with the Nindy Showcase, but I figured it was
relevant.
No,
but it is really relevant, because it would give a lot more indie developers a chance to get their games on the Switch, and I think everybody wants that. So.
Right.
Yeah, that would actually be exciting for me personally. Like, I would want to see that happen.
Right. That's kind of like how I can't remember the platform right off the top of my head. I think it's called like Game Maker Studio, but that's how kind of like the same thing with what's that one game? Undertale, right? Because it's going to be coming to Switch, because that is made available to be exported to Switch. That's really cool. That hopefully Nintendo will be able to allow HTML5, kind of like you were saying. So, all right. Well, we hit our timer. Maybe Nintendo will drop a 6.0 update to let us use HTML5. But as for right now, we're up to 5.0, and that means that there's some cool new, I don't know, like avatars, I guess. No, there's actually some cool stuff on this 5.0 update that just got launched. So the thing that really jumped out to me is that you can add friends via Facebook and Twitter now. So that's really cool. If you link your Facebook or your Twitter to your Switch, then you can just automatically pull in some contacts that way. I haven't done that yet, but the next time I boot up my Switch, I'd love to add some people that I just haven't added that 12-digit friend code. Also, what's cool is that if you have any of the special Pro controllers that have like the different colored grips, it'll start showing that on the option screen. I always find that really cool when you have a different Joy-Con, that it shows that on the option
That's
screen.
Actually really cool. My wife has the Splatoon Pro controller, and it looks really cool when it pops up.
Yeah, for sure. I like that there's new filters available, so that's kind of cool. So like news filters. So like, have you guys gone to the news channel since the new update?
Yeah,
you're
actually able to filter by. Yeah.
So that's actually really useful. There's it's not a huge update, but it's definitely I'm glad that it's there. So like small baby steps, Nintendo baby steps.
Here's my thing. I'm a relatively simple man. I don't need party chat like everybody else wants. All I want are themes. I just want to have like a Pikachu theme or a Metroid theme or even different colors besides white and black. That's all I want on my Switch. Whenever Nintendo wants to get around to that, they've already got the menu for it. Just give us some themes. I'll buy them. I'll pay for them.
It doesn't even have to be themes, Lucas. On my PlayStation Vita, I took a screenshot of this really cool part of Fez, and I just set it as the background image for my entire PlayStation Vita home screen. Even just like an in-game screenshot would be awesome, or something for Mario Odyssey with its photo mode.
One other thing that I remember being a thing on Xbox, I think it's a thing on PlayStation 2 actually, that I love from those systems that I wish Nintendo did, was the ability to put music on your console and play it while you're playing a game. So like you could be playing like Breath of the Wild and you could have your playlist on in the background and you could just be listening to music. It's one of those creature comforts. Like, it's not a necessity because, that's what we have headphones and phones and everything for. Right. But like, it's cool to be able to like shut off the game music and still have like the sound effects going and like hear the music in the background.
Well, yeah, like when you're playing Minecraft and you want to listen to something other than da da da.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not like it's new technology. It's ancient. Like everybody knows how to do that when they have like their consoles, except for Nintendo
Right.
apparently. So like those are like minor things that really don't matter, but like they would be fun for me. Those like things that change the aesthetic and how you play a game. You know,
It's harder to do on the Switch though, because there's really only two ways to do it.
Drive. Yeah.
Well, there's only two ways to do it. You can load music onto a memory card, or you can hook a hard drive up to it. But if you hook a hard drive up to it, you can only do that in docked mode unless you're in handheld mode with the USB-C adapter.
I suspect what you would really need is like a dedicated music. Well, you need a music app on your Switch basically, and you'd have to be able to like hook that music app up somehow to like a PC or a Mac and like transfer your music on that way. It'd be a lot of work.
I don't know why it wouldn't be possible to, like, if you have like a Google Play or an Audacity subscription, or Spotify subscription, that you can't like, link that up. Yeah, you can't just like link that up, and then stream music that way to your games,
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Assuming the Switch could run a game plus another app in the background while it's in handheld mode.
Sure. So what I want already for the Switch is, and I'm sure you guys feel this a lot more than I do. I want folders. Come on, give me some folder capability so I can organize my shit.
Yeah.
Nintendo.
I don't know. There's not.
Yeah.
I mean, party chat aside, I would like the screen. Like, I want what you guys are saying, but I didn't realize I wanted it until you guys said it.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I like that Nintendo has made this Switch, like, basically all it is a game machine, right? Like, down to the point where you go to the eShop, there's not even music. But like, I kind of miss some of those old Nintendo flares, Like, I want my Pikmin to be able to transfer my save data when I can finally transfer my save data.
Well, and at the very least, I've said this before, but I would love to be able to look up help for the game I'm playing on the console.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to be stumped in Breath of the Wild and be able to Google, I'm in this shrine in Breath of the Wild. How do I, solve it, and actually get like a Google search result,
Right. Yeah. For Christ's sakes, you could do that with like I guess if you had the mobile browser for the DS, you could even do it that way. Jeez. You guys remember that clunky thing that plugged into the cartridge slot for extra RAM for the
oh God, I forgot about that.
So and while we're okay, well, one of us talks so we don't run out of time, and then the other one can jump on.
Okay, I was just gonna say real fast, I think of anything, the thing I want the most is, like what Lucas said, I want to be able to listen to music, but not from in-game. I've contemplated buying a $120 headset multiple times that will plug into the headphone jack on my Switch, but has Bluetooth to connect to my phone. And it'll
run both at the same time?
It runs both at the same time. I'll send you guys the info on it. It's expensive, but I want it. Okay, go, Lucas.
I was just going to say the one thing that I feel like is missing from the Switch, and it's only really missing because the Switch is as much a home console as it is a portable console, but I really liked that, like, we had Pictochat on the original DS, and we had Street Pass. We had Street Pass on the 3DS. I want something like that. I want to be able to connect with other gamers now that I have a system that other people have. Like, I loved having my 3DS on campus and walking around and going to classes and holding it out and having that green light and going, oh, cool. Other people, let me check out their profiles and get coins. And like, I'd like something like that on the Switch, some kind of like passive program that's doing something to communicate with other systems.
That'd be rad.
But that's a pipe dream. I know that's a pipe dream, but I'd like it.
Awesome. All right, so I am going to take us to our first break of the night. We're going to take a little break here before Nintendo, so Lucas can set up and stump us with music. So we will be right back.
I literally forgot that I was doing Nintendo.
Yes.
I was like, all right, get my game face on. Got to win some points. And I was like, oh, wait.
Oh yeah, I'm hosting. Do we want to wait until Justin gets back then, obviously?
Yeah.
I think
okay, I'm going to go turn on the light real quick and get a water because I still taste fucking Splatoon 2.
So
I'm going to copy my question so I can close out of Firefox and maybe save a little memory on my computer so I don't get quite as dragony during these segments, because God knows if I am, somebody will mention it.
So I am like super chatty tonight. Like,
I'm
a lot more than normal.
I'm stumbling tonight. Usually I feel like I'm a little more like in control of what I'm saying, but I'm just kind of stumbling over my words a lot.
My God, what were those, Lucas? What was the name of those headphones? I can't remember. I'm trying to look them up on Amazon, and I can't remember. So now I'm gonna have to look it up on the interwebs.
Why did I have to pick the question that's like 20 paragraphs long? Okay, there we go. Got that ready for when we do whatever we call that question block. Okay. I think everybody can hear my music okay, so that shouldn't be a problem. I guess I'll just get ready for this. This is going to be a weird Nintendo's.
Yeah, it is.
I have 6 user suggestions.
Oh, shoot. Oh my word.
Should we check in with Justin? Because he did say there was a chance he might not come back. And like, you know.
Yeah, I'll shoot him a text message. Let me turn on my lights real quick. It is cold. Is it cold in Utah?
Nope. I mean, it is outside, but it is hotter than hell in this house.
Hey guys, Infendo Radio 434 is live right now.
Huh. I cannot remember what the hell those headphones were called.
Ooh, Jay-Z, I like that idea. Salt and Sanctuary definitely sounds like it needs to come to Switch. But Dead Cells is coming to Switch, which is supposed to be another kind of Dark Souls-like, so I'm excited for that. Kevin Bell says he wants an achievement system. That's actually would be really exciting.
System would actually be kind of cool. See, my problem with achievement systems are I get obsessed with them, like because I'm very much a completionist. And when I can set my own goals, like I'm fine. But I always thought I wanted achievements. Then when I actually got them on like my other system, I was like obsessed with doing everything in a game.
Yeah, getting like 1,000 achievements or all the trophies. Yeah.
I found
it. But yeah, it kind of sucks that your achievements are like totally locked into whatever game you're playing. Like we should really be past that. I guess Nintendo just really doesn't care. Like honestly, I've kind of grown out of that caring, but I'd still take them. What are they, Steve?
It's the Arctis 3 Bluetooth gaming headset.
Arctis 2 or Arctis 3?
Has to be Arctis 3.
That's the one that has the.
Do you notice that everything that we used for like audio related stuff is cold? Like I have my Yeti.
Snowball. Yeah.
So it's the Steel Series. It's the Steel Series Arctis Bluetooth all platform gaming headset. It has to be Arctis and it has to be Bluetooth in the same description, or it's not the right one. They are $129.99, and I've only found them so far on Amazon.
To all of our live viewers, apologies for the slight break. We're just kind of gathering our thoughts for a moment. We'll be with you momentarily. In the meantime, feel free to admire these lovely Infendo Radio stickers I put all over my Switch dock like a moron. So that's me. We have an Infendo Radio, and we have our iTunes logo, if this is even still our iTunes logo. Sam is listening to headphone music stuff.
It's not anymore, actually.
It used to be a long time ago.
Yeah. I need to update our iTunes logo. It's the boring one that I made a long time ago, I think.
Oh, geez, Eugene. No, it's the boring one. It's the boring one.
I was going to say, or maybe you made it and I just insulted you very, very harshly.
Which one is it?
I really don't know.
Okay. Well, either way, we've got new stuff. So,
Eugene, are you okay if I put that on the Infendo Twitter, since it kind of came up on the show? And some of the listeners, the Bluetooth headset I was just talking about.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. That way our listeners can find it.
I don't know if you can see.
Oh yeah, that was that was one of mine.
Oh well, I'm a jerk.
You're a jerk. It's okay. No. You complimented me pretty hardcore for all the other logos today, so I think I can handle one trip.
Gosh, yeah, I actually those ones were really rad. I'm not even gonna lie. Well, I guess we can say it now, right? The Nintendo Fever logos you worked on.
Yeah,
like
I'm happy with them.
we already announced it.
Dude, I love that. I don't think I got to tell you that in the Discord because I was at dinner, but I showed Justina. I'm like,
Everyone
"Holy
give
shit, that
me
is
praise.
awesome."
I live off of your praise.
We know.
I'm happy with them. I think it would be a really fun idea to just have them swap out between like those 5 and just kind of go back and forth every time you log in. Assuming that's something we know how to do. That would be really cool.
I'm thinking that there's some kind of plugin that can probably make that happen.
There's gotta be. I've been to so many websites that do that. Like,
So I was talking to Holly about the acquisition of that website, by the way. She says the only thing she would like to see from it is a working comments section.
Okay.
She was very specific.
Noted. That was very specific.
Yeah, she said, if you guys could figure it out, because we always had a heck of a time with it, as she said in her very, Holly ways of speaking.
Right. Well, I guess
we always had a humzinger of a time.
I guess we'll give Justin 5 more minutes, and if I don't hear from him or he doesn't show up, we'll just, we'll roll into Nintendo's.
It's probably a good idea.
Well, then you can beat me and get your points back, Eugene. That is
5 minutes
again.
I am going to boot up Rocket League and play a round of Rocket League while we
start
wait.
a timer for 5 minutes.
I can't sit still for 5 minutes, so
I was talking to Siri, not you.
We know that.
I am hungry, but I'm not gonna. I'm tempted to go downstairs and get something, but what I want is
be careful. If you eat food on the show, you will be made into a emoji.
Yeah,
on our
that's true.
You also risk choking when you inhale while laughing, so it might be detrimental to your health.
Yeah. I have these I think they're wheat thins. I don't know what they are. They're freaking delicious. They're like thin and crispy. They're salt and vinegar, my favorite flavor on the entire earth.
Oh, dude, that hurts my mouth so bad.
I had today for lunch, Morningstar, they make all the soy stuff. I had porkless pockets. They're just like a ball of soft bread with what would be pulled pork inside, but it's made out of soy. It was so good. It was so amazing. Oh, it was so good.
Where did you say you got that from?
Publix, just a grocery store. They're Morningstar. Have you ever seen it? They have the chicken sandwiches and
I've never heard of that grocery store before. We don't have them up here in the Southwest.
Really good. Well, I assume any big chain grocery store would have it. You should try it sometime. Soy is actually really tasty. I like it.
That sounds
Lucas, I forgot about my intro that I was going to do.
Oh, yeah. You always
completely forgot. Yeah, completely forgot.
I like that you even said you were going to not forget, and you forgot.
That's okay, so you always forget.
So Infendo Storytime while we're waiting here. I was playing Rocket League yesterday, I think, maybe the day before, and I only play competitive now because I'm trying to sharpen my skills. But we went into overtime. It was a 1-1 match. We went into overtime. 4.5 minutes into overtime, we lost the match. I was so devastated. I basically played 2 matches just to lose.
God, I haven't played Rocket League in a long time.
It's so good, dude.
Just so many games. I'm kind of in I think I told you guys this before. It's almost like I don't want to play any games right now because there's too many games to choose from. I'm in a game choosing paralysis mode.
I'm having the opposite.
Yeah, I was just going to say I have the opposite problem, actually. There's about 20 games on the eShop that I want, but I can't afford to buy them. So I'm subsisting off of games that I already own, even though I want all the new stuff,
Right.
Well, and see, I'm kind of waiting because my next few games don't come out till May and June or later.
Dark Souls comes out in May.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dark Souls isn't. I don't have it in me to do that one, unfortunately. So I'm finishing Shantae, and then I've got a review
copy.
Yeah, so I'm finishing Shantae, and then I have 2 solid months to just immerse myself in Skyrim. I'm so excited.
I think
I'm
didn't
thinking
they say a Dark Souls, like not test fire, but like kind of like that. There's going to be
I
like
will
a
be
global...
playing that.
I
So
thought they
maybe
said there
that'll
was
be
gonna be something like that.
Yeah, that might be a good time to get your feet wet into it.
No,
Yeah, I will be
Dark
trying
Souls,
that.
Dark Souls looks amazing. I love a challenge. Like, I'm actually really excited to play that game someday, but I just don't want to spend $60 on it. Like, there's so many other, like, I'd rather get Kirby right now, you know? Like, there's so many other games I'm saving up for that, like, it's at the bottom of a very long list of games for me.
Sure. All right. Well, looks like Justin's not quite back yet, and I haven't heard back from him. What do you say we give him like a grace point or something like that in case he comes back in the middle? So then,
okay, if he shows up, we'll give him a free point.
That's fine.
I will abandon Rocket League match, even though we're winning 2-0, and take the hit on my perfect record. And we will dive into some Nintendo's because I can't play and host at the same time.
You cocky piece of shit.
Oh, no, actually, I've only won like 2 matches since I hit Bronze League, so don't get too enamored with my skills. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's do Nintendo.
All right, so everybody click on the dragon's face.
Rawr. Okay, it is. Right? Okay.
Yeah, I just I muted myself so I can type.
Okay. All right. I'll just bring us back and we'll do this thing. Hello, 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 and welcome back to Infendo Radio. It has been not like 8 minutes since we went on break. We are here to play Nintendo's, which is a game show where these poor, hopeless fools have to guess the music I've devised from Nintendo games. I'm going to play songs from 12 different games, 13 if there's a tie. We are going to guess the music, and if they get the game correct or close enough to my discerning eye, they're going to earn a valuable point. At the end of the game, whoever has the most points wins. Why am I explaining this? This is our 434th episode. You should know how this works by now.
But we might have new listeners.
I like how you started off as Zoolander and you ended up as Dr. Evil, by the way.
I know, right? It's a transitional phase for me. I'm figuring out what personality I want to evolve into.
One of these days, you'll do it as James.
I will
Yes.
say that we have a Patreon tier for this, and we actually have 6 of the 12 tracks I'm going to play tonight are suggested from Patreon listeners. If you would like to join in and be a part of the fun, just go to patreon.com/Infendo Radio, hop in, give us a couple bucks, and suggest some freaking games. Also, Justin may be back at some point. He momentarily left us during the news segment. If he comes back, he will receive an honorary point, and we will just go at it from there, because this is Nintendo's and the points don't matter.
And that'll probably be more points than I get all night anyway.
With that said, I should have been loading this music ahead of time. Let's jump on into the first song, folks. Let's listen to some music. Tell me if it's too quiet. It probably will be. And away we go.
Well, oh.
How's the volume?
F-Zero GX?
Nope.
F-Zero something. F-Zero AX.
Nope.
F-Zero 64.
Sonic Forces,
Nope.
Sonic Adventure,
Nope.
Sonic
Fuck
Adventure
off.
2.
Nope.
Sonic Racing. Sonic.
Nope. Nope.
Sonic Colors.
No.
Oh, you're like bobbing your head. I'm like,
I'm just letting the music
You
take
bitch.
me, man.
It's Sonic. Shit. Which one
I
is it?
love this soundtrack so much.
how about another track?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this a Patreon suggestion?
No, this one came right out of my beating heart.
We turn it up just a bit.
Sure.
Sonic 06?
How's that?
That's better.
What's an on Nintendo system?
So, it's Sonic.
I'm gonna be really mad if it's a Sonic track. What else? Is it Sonic Chronicles? Sonic, like...
No.
Nope.
God. Sonic Unleashed?
Nope.
Is it
Your
Sonic?
first hint. No, it is not Sonic.
Okay, there's
Thank
our
God.
first hint.
Your first hint is that this is a Switch title.
Ooh. Oh God, this is that game that you just reviewed whose name I can't remember.
Oh,
Fuck.
shit!
God
Your
damn
second
it.
hint is that this fantastic game was made by the indie studio Dragon Entertainment.
Oh, fuck.
It's that
Well,
game, isn't it?
First person to put 3 random sounds together
Steve?
wins, I guess.
Steve gets the point unless Eugene can get the name. Because
know the
Steve
name,
was the
Eugene?
first one.
Yes.
All right. The name of the game is Danmaku Unlimited 3.
Yes.
It's a fantastic game. And yes, there's a review up on Infendo.com that you should totally go read.
I get the point
Oh.
because I got you a plug.
Did anybody get it in chat?
I actually had my chat closed because A, I'm a bad podcaster. B, I'm afraid I will all drag me if I have it open.
Yeah, probably a good call.
I think I'm just have to be protective of that. And do...
Yeah,
Sorry,
'cause
listeners.
your music's
but
kind of
my-
going in and out on our end anyway, so we're gonna just have to deal with it.
I don't want to ruin the quality of the show here, so we're going to jump right into the second track. This one was a suggestion from Phantom, one of our devout listeners. Enjoy the music.
Oh, I think I know this. Is
Blossom
this
Tail?
This is
Wait, what did? No, it's not.
And it's not Blossom Tail?
It's not Blossom Tail.
Okay.
Why do I know this? Why do I know this?
You probably do know this.
Will you give me another track?
Sure. If you think it will help.
Game Boy Advance. Who is this? Is this Phantom?
This is Phantom.
This is Bowser's Inside Story. No, that wasn't Game Boy
Ooh.
Advance. Never mind.
Oh!
Superstar Saga?
Golden Sun. No, it's not Golden Sun. That would be minus.
No!
Why do I fucking know this?
Advance Wars?
How about another track?
You're just going through the tracks tonight.
I'm not even listening. I'm just guessing games.
Oh my god, I know this game.
Oh my god, I don't think I know this game.
Oh! It's
Would you like another hint?
This is Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yes, this is Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, but that's what
Oh
you
well,
meant.
yeah.
Duh. Yes, it is Final Fantasy Tactics
Nice.
Advance. It was Phantom's track. Eugene got it. You guys are tied. I love this. You guys are like the most
Nice.
balanced players I've ever seen. All right, let's go right on to track number 3.
Nice one,
This
Phantom.
might be an easy one. I'm not sure. This one is one of mine.
Is this Breath of the Wild?
Fuck. It sounds like.
Wind Waker?
Nope.
Is this Okami?
Nope.
Twilight Princess?
Nope. I'm going to jump right into the second track here.
Fuck, I know this.
Probably do. See if this helps.
Fuck. 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 Majora's Mask.
Yes!
No! Oh!
Yes. That's the frog song.
Yes, it is
That's the one
Majora's
they-
Mask.
Yeah, you have to get all the frogs into the fucking town to play that song.
That was Don Garrow's theme. Yeah, when you just kept guessing Zelda, I was like, let me play the frog song quick. That's why I picked it.
It's now the Steve swearing drinking game. So much
Oh,
for
God.
being a clean episode.
That's 2 points.
I was trying not to swear either.
So Steve's up. He's got 2 points to Eugene's 1. This next one is a patron suggestion. It comes from a patron who's been a patron for a while, but who just upped his tier to put a song in, I believe. Dr. Johnny 5.
Thank you.
I've never heard of this game before. I think this will probably be the hardest game in our Nintendo Tunes tonight, but he suggested it, so we're going to listen to it.
I'm a little bit sad.
That
Tell
you
me if
missed
you need to
Majora's
turn it up.
Mask.
Oh my god.
Really?
Of course Eugene's heard of it.
I played this fucking game.
Come on, Eugene, start the swears. I've already got like 5.
I'll be amazed if you've heard of this
Is
game.
this a Game Boy Advance game?
This is a Game Boy Advance game, I think. Let me double check on that.
Shit, you
I
Yes,
did.
played
it is
a
a Game
lot
Boy
of Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance came out when I was in high school, and I played it in my backpack when I was supposed to be listening to math teachers.
Wimp. I played it like under the desk when I was supposed to be listening to teachers.
Well, I had headphones wrapped around like my hoodie, like so I would play like with one like this. So I can How about another track?
Sure enough, you already know the game system, so.
Sorry, I just
Oh
read
my
the
god,
chat.
I know this fucking game.
Now I'm excited.
Oh, this is not Metal Gear. Fucking
Your next-
Metal Slug.
Your next hint is that this is a Konami title.
Got Zone of the Enders.
4.
Whoa! Zone of the Enders!
Nice, you
yes! Holy crap!
I knew it was a Kojima track.
Konima.
Konima.
I really thought that was going to be a stumper. Okay, yeah. Congratulations, Eugene. You
Good job,
totally earned that. All right, we are on to track number 5 in a second. Many seconds.
Your poor computer.
Like all the seconds. And away we go. I'm watching Smile slowly melt away on us. You goes into concentration mode.
What is this? This is a Lucas joint, right?
This is a Lucas one, yes.
As opposed to a Eugene joint.
Oh god.
Thank you, Steven.
God, I got nothing.
Second track.
Please.
Sure.
Eventually.
Sounds like the same track. Is this the Nutcracker of the game?
Yes. Well done.
God, it almost sounds like Four Swords Adventures, but it's not.
I know, right? I picked really good music for this game.
Is this Resident Evil Revelations 1 or 2?
Absolutely not. No, it is not.
It sounded like cutscene music or something.
It is cutscene music. Your second hint is that this is a GameCube title. And I will now begin to put up the third song.
Resident Evil 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Gosh.
Nope. Again, not even close, Dave.
Okay.
This is a fucking Sonic game. God
Is
damn
it?
Sonic
I don't
Adventure
know.
1 or 2
Sonic
battle?
Adventure 2 or
Yes,
something?
it's Sonic Adventure 1!
Oh!
Who gets that point? Me?
I think you get that point for actually saying Sonic Adventure 1. I mean,
It was the
Eugene got the series, but you actually got the
Fucking
name.
Sonic would do that to me.
You got to admit, I picked good songs.
Jesus.
Okay, Eugene, there's a game in here later that is specifically there to make that up to you. So.
I seriously guessed Resident Evil for a Sonic game.
Okay, so
Right?
let me just get this. Let me get this straight real quick. The point distribution went Steve, Eugene, Steve, Eugene, Steve.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right, I'm going to write that down because my memory is not good enough for this. Go on to the next song, which is a Mania 64 song, actually. I kind of just divvied it up like every other one as a Patreon suggestion. So this comes from Minus. Eventually.
God, I'm sweating right now.
I fucking know this too.
I don't doubt it. It's your point.
This, however, is not a Game Boy Advance game.
Why do I fucking know this?
Yeah, Eugene gets every patron suggestion, and Steve gets all of my games.
Is this Piano 5?
Piano 5? No.
No, PNO.
PNO 5? I don't think so. No, it doesn't have the letter P in it at all.
There's our first in. No P's.
I'll do another try.
God, Eugene, we're not even asking for hints.
Right?
Yeah, you guys are doing pretty well, actually. Eventually, the second song is going to load. It'll be just amazing. Here we go.
Oh my god. Why do I know this soundtrack?
Why do you?
How about a hint, I guess, since we haven't asked for one
It is
yet.
an N64.
Fuck, I knew it. God.
Is it like Vigilante?
Next song load. No. I'm gonna get the next song loading because it's gonna take that long for it to boot up anyway.
Is it Iggy's Wrecking Balls?
It is not Iggy's Wrecking Balls. That was an excellent guess.
Oh my god. I know this game.
I know you've played this game.
It's not GoldenEye, is it?
Not GoldenEye.
God.
Can we get a little volume up?
Sure.
Neither of my guesses had P's in them either, by the way. I've been careful about that.
Proud
Is
of you.
Mortal Kombat 4?
Nope.
Killer Instinct Gold?
Nope.
Oh! This is Command and Conquer.
Yes! It is
Motherfucker.
Command and Conquer!
Jesus. That was on the N64?
Yeah.
It was on like every system. You have no idea how hard it was to find that specific soundtrack.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
All right, this next one is one of my tracks, actually recommended to me by my father. And I highly suspect that Eugene is going to get it.
Well, PUBG is not a Nintendo game, so that's out.
Could you mess with your volume bar a little bit? It's kind of going in and out.
Sure. You want it up
Oh!
or down?
Is this UN Squadron?
Yes, it's UN Squadron! Yes, that doesn't matter. Well done.
I love that game.
I just totally turned off the music for it, though. Okay. Wow. So now Eugene is up. Eugene 4, Steven 3. This is a really close Nintendo's.
I'm at least putting up a good fight. I'm proud of this.
I'm impressed. Okay, this next one comes from Jay-Z Beast. As soon as I open the track, you will hear the music and the game will commence.
Daisy always just messes with my mind.
This was actually a pretty traditional track, I felt like, but we'll see.
Is this Quest 64?
No, but very close.
Very Quest 65?
Good job!
Quest 63 and a third.
I'll be right back. I gotta let the cat out.
All right, Steve gets free time.
All right. Not that it's going to help. So I got nothing right now.
Well, I guess your first hint, which I will reiterate when Eugene gets back. Oh, he is back. Your first hint is that, yes, this is an N64 game.
Shit.
Okay, N64 joint.
Is this Iggy's Wrecking Balls?
This is not nowhere near Iggy's Wrecking Balls.
Who did you say this was? Jay-Z?
Jay-Z
Yeah.
Beast.
Is Jay-Z new? There was 0 RPGs on the N64.
I'm not sure if the genre was RPG, but it damn sure looked like one. It's at the very least of that archetype.
I'm trying to even think of RPGs on the Nintendo 64.
Again, it might not actually be an RPG, it's in that vein at least.
Hey,
Sure.
Lucas, text me the name of it, and I'll look it up for you.
Oh,
Okay,
gosh.
cool. Sonic the Fighters. There you go.
Okay, cool.
It's not Quest 64. Is it, is this Gauntlet 64?
Nope.
Castlevania 64?
Nope.
Does it have the word 64, the number 64 in the title?
It does. And I believe that this game was, at least in part, co-developed by Nintendo.
What?
Because they're who I have down as the, makers. So this game was at least in part worked on by Nintendo, unless they just published it.
Is it Ogre Battle 64?
Yes!
Nice.
Oh shit!
I never would have got that.
I had to rack my brains for that one. I'm pretty sure that one had a blue cartridge, or maybe it was orange or something. It definitely had a different color cartridge.
All I saw was the promo art, but it might have been green. I feel like I remember it being a green 64 cartridge. Anyway, that's not important. What is important is Eugene is now winning 2-0, and we're about to go on to track number 9. Attendance is going really quick. I'm a little disappointed in myself for making these as easy as I did. This one's going to stump you, though. So I believe I've got you this time.
Is this Stardew Valley?
Nope.
Harvest Moon? Oh! Dylan's Rolling Western!
No. Yes.
Fuck!
Is this an Earthworm Jim game?
Nope.
Could you adjust your volume a little bit?
Sure, up or down.
Let's go up.
How's that?
How about another track? Is this Dokapon Kingdom?
Nope.
Fuck.
Dragon Quest Builders.
Nope. But your first hint is that this is a Switch.
It is a Switch game.
Yep.
Okay.
What has he been playing, Steve?
The song sounds so grand. That's not a hint. That's just me telling you
It's what it is, what it is.
So it's, I don't think it's ukulele.
It's not. And also, what has he been playing is an excellent question to be asking yourself.
This isn't the Kirby Star Allies.
Nope.
Oh.
It's going to track you through it eventually.
Is this Blossom Tail?
Nope. I've never played Blossom Tail.
Have you played this game?
Yes, extensively.
Fuck.
Oh!
I think Eugene is constipated.
I know what it is!
It's not Bayonetta, is it?
Your third hint is that this game was
Is it
worked on
that-
by Team 17.
Is it that Japanese game with the Japanese fighting game you told me I needed to remember the 3 syllables of?
Nope.
Is it the Japanese game with all the half-naked girls in it that's a Muso game?
Yeah.
What?
It's not a Japanese game.
I know what
Only a
this
bunch
is.
of crap left.
Oh, I'm so angry right now.
Amazed.
Oh my god. I'm gonna be so mad if I don't get this. You were talking about playing this fucking game.
I bought this game because I watched Markiplier play a couple of episodes and I absolutely loved what I saw.
My god, I can't think of it. I could look at my Switch and cheat.
Do you yield?
I yield.
Yes.
The Escapist 2.
Fuck.
God damn it!
Ugh.
Son of a bitch.
Because I remember saying, oh yeah, I think they had Walking Dead DLC for this game.
Yeah.
When you said Team 17, that's what did it.
I passed on this game so many times because of terrible cover art. And I actually watched gameplay and I was like, huh, it's a really cool game. Alright, well, this next one will spare you my horrible mind. This one comes from one of our patrons, Mike, also known as Quirky Dog. He goes by both on our Patreon, so will I.
Why do all these games sound Western?
I know, right?
Is this still
your
a rolling
first hint.
Western?
It is not. Your first hint for this game is I didn't know that this was also a GameCube game. I owned it on Xbox way back in the day.
Is this not Red Dead Redemption? Did that game come to it? Red Dead Revolver? Did
No.
Red Dead Revolver come to the GameCube?
Nope.
Is this? How about another
The only
track?
thing that's coming to my mind is that one Shinabra, whatever game it was.
I know which one you're talking about. I think that was a Wii game though.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
I'm trying to think of Western games. There was like Black, but I don't think that was a Western. The only one I keep going back to is Red Dead Revolver.
This is going to be a painful round, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm having a hard time.
Mhm. God, we were doing so good at first, Eugene.
It's because we said something.
I'm going to get right into the third track here because I don't think these tracks are helping me much.
Yeah.
It's not Time Splitters, is it?
It's not Time Splitters. Good guess, though. This game was primarily developed, from what I can find, by a company called Neversoft. But it's
Neversoft. What was the genre? Because they did like Tony Hawk games. This isn't Tony Hawk, is it?
I believe it was just a third-person, semi-open world Western game. Kind of in the same vein as Red Dead. I played it a long time ago, but that's how I remember it anyway.
I got nothing.
Do we yield, gentlemen?
We yield.
This game was called Gun.
Oh, yeah.
That came out on GameCube?
Yeah, I did not know that. I looked it up for myself. I played it on Xbox. I didn't know it was a GameCube game.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah,
Huh.
I once again stumped us. He is like this number king. This is the last patron suggestion. It was a very late entry by Axe. I will tell you, this is a game we have played many times before on the show, but he wanted it, so we're going to play it.
I'm ready. Oh. Is this Elevate?
Nope. Yes.
Oh, this is Custom Robo.
It is Custom Robo. How many times do we play it on Nintendo?
I was going to say, why do I know this? It's because we played it before.
We played it like 50 times.
Yeah. Damn, I was doing so good at first.
Right, well, Eugene's kind of stolen the show here, but I do have one track left, besides my tiebreaker, which I guess I don't want to play. I want to play it because the music in this game is phenomenal. See if you guys can get this, even though I don't think either of you have played this game.
Are we listening to the new music right now? Oh.
You are now.
It sounds like Smash Bros.
It's not. Although it very well could be the next Smash Bros.
Is it Fire Emblem?
No.
Is this F-Zero?
No. I want one of you to get this because I know you have it in you.
What console was this on?
Let me give you another track first, then we can move on to console.
It's kind of cutting in and out for me. Can you turn the volume up a little
I
bit?
just got the next track in.
Okay. What is this?
I don't think either of you have played it. It is a very mainstream game now, in terms of, you know, what we've had tonight.
I feel
It
like I
is
should
a
know this.
Switch game.
Yeah, it's a Switch game.
Yep.
This is not Breath of the Wild, is it?
Nope.
No,
There's
it
music
doesn't.
playing, Eugene. How can it be Breath of the Wild?
Plus, he says he doesn't think we've played it, and he knows we played that one.
Also true. In fact, I know that neither of you have played this. I'm almost positive. I know one of our listeners has played it extensively, though.
Xenoblade Chronicles?
Yes! It's Xenoblade Chronicles
Is
too!
it really?
Oh,
Holy
wow!
Well done, Steven. It doesn't win you a match, but you know what? You get 2 points for that, which ties it up to 6 for Eugene, 5 for Steve.
Oh I'll take it.
Very nice.
Close round of Nintendo's this time. Justin gets a point, even though he didn't show up because we love them.
Yep.
I get 3 points, so I came in 3rd place. That was around a Nintendo. Mike gets 2 points. So he no longer does Infendo radio. Lewis gets a half a point. That's the final score for this round of Nintendo.
No. You forgot one. Barack Obama gets 6 points, and we're tied.
Barack Obama gets 6 points. That's fair. You and Obama are in a tie, but Obama isn't here to do the tiebreaker, so you win by default.
Yeah. All right, I'll take that. Thank you, Mr. Obama. I'm sorry,
those of you keeping track at home, the scores were a half a point for Lewis, 1 point for Justin, 2 points for who else did I say? Mike gets 2 points. I have 3. Stephen at 5. Barack Obama and Eugene tied at 6, but Obama was unable to make the playoffs. So Eugene wins this round of Nintendo. So let's give him a round of applause, folks. Wonderful job.
Can we switch Mike and Justin though, just so Justin can beat Mike?
I guess. Because then Mike's going to write and complain. So one way or another, someone's going to be pissed. Anyway, we will be right back after a briefest of breaks. Back to give you some of that good old question block love. Until then, I love you all. Bye-bye.
That was fun.
It was fun. You guys were way better than I thought you would be.
Yeah, we didn't do too bad, actually.
No, you were very good. Oh, God.
Especially considering like it was hard to hear your music, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You might need to like completely turn off voice meter because like
I was wondering about that.
Yeah. So we might have to sync up again.
I'm fine.
In momentary moments. Okay, just don't turn off voice meter. It's gonna today.
Yeah, you'll need to start a new recording too.
I dropped my thing. Sorry.
We love you, Lukey.
Eugene causing me all kinds of problems over here, making me quit. I will be back in moments. I will save this recording, and I will talk to you all in a moment.
Cool. We did pretty good job, I think, for not like saying, "Hey, I can't hear your shit either." Like, so we just kind of dealt with it. So, because it's gonna be perfect on for the most part on the actual recording. So.
Sorry, Lucas, we can't hear you, but bye. We love you. I don't know. We're Italian. We talk with our hands. That's a bad thing. Sorry to anybody in Italy that might be listening to us. So I guess while he's gone, we can figure out what we're going to do. Do you want me to just take Justin's 2 questions and you can take minuses or something? Or Lucas can take minuses? Or
yeah, that's probably a good idea. Lucas has got that long one from Dr.
So yeah,
Johnny.
I guess why don't you take minuses then, and I'll take Justin's.
That'll work. And so I'll take the first 2. Lucas has that big long one in the middle, and then you have the bumper too.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Cool. That works. That works.
God, what are you gonna do with the new? Like, I need to have coffee before every episode. I am wound.
I didn't have any coffee before the show today. I'm actually really surprised. I usually do, actually. I'm looking at the chat here. Jay-Z was asking about the All Nintendo's episode, if that one was going to be for the $50 tier. I think we were planning on doing the $50 tier episode next week. On the
25th,
yeah. I need a monster to clobber that there Kirby. That's what you best at NME. You better get it with a money back guarantee.
You have
definitely sound 100 times better.
You have the entirety of the opening of the Kirby song on my recording, by the way. I'm counting on you to use that responsibly. Use that only for good. I'm ready to sync up whenever you are, my friend.
Okay, sounds good. Well, before we sync up, I guess we might as well talk about this real quick. They were asking in the chat, Jay-Z was anyways, if the Nintendo's episode will be for the $50 patron tier. Do we? But I think we discussed that we weren't going to be doing that next week, but we very well could make that the Nintendo's episode.
You know what? Maybe. How would you feel about that? Let me write this in the chat. So, yeah, how bad it's going to be for like my recording and stuff when there's like 20 people. And let me write something in the chat here real quick.
I'd like to get your recording fixed before we do another All Nintendo's episode.
Let me put it this way. If we're going to do an All Nintendo's episode, I'm probably going to have to record that episode in the living room with an Ethernet cable plugged into my computer, because that seems to be the only thing I can think of that will make my internet run faster. Let me type this out real quick, because I don't want to say it out loud, because I don't want anybody to be the good guy or bad guy here. And then if we like it, we can talk about it.
Okay. Hey, Eugene, can we ship Lucas a 200-foot Ethernet cable?
Yeah, right. Actually, you know what? You know what? Yeah, I think you're typing that in the wrong chat, Lucas.
I'm typing it in our group chat. No, I'm okay with like minus and.
Oh, you're talking about. I understand. You're typing this for us. I get it.
Do you think maybe that would work? Because, like, I mean, we could just do that and be like, hey.
I'm good with that.
I kind of like that. I'm good with it for sure.
All right, so we will allow the $50 pay. I mean, hell, they're giving us $50 a month. We can do this.
Yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day, patrons.
Yeah, we're gonna have you guys on next week's show, and we're also gonna have you, if you can make it, on Wednesday's Nintendo's show. We will get in touch with you guys. More details at a future date, because obviously it's the three of you. We know who you are, so you know it won't be hard to orchestrate that. But hey, that's a thing. So
I like it.
Cool, awesome. Cool. So, and what's cool about, well, I mean, unfortunately, it's cool and not cool that Mike is gone, but that opens up an extra spot for potential people to join in too.
Yeah. Well, and for all we know, like Steve will have to cut out or something and won't make it, or just, you know, because it is on a Wednesday. Right. So we might have a lot of open seats.
Sure. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and get us rolling back in with the question block. We executive made a decision. Lucas, you're just going to take the big long one. Steve's going to take the ones that Justin we're going to, and I'm taking minuses. So I'll take the first two. Cool. You're going to be our little Lucas sandwich.
Yeah. Should we sync up first?
Yes, we should.
Yeah, good calls. Thank you.
I'm giving you my time anyway. Deal with it.
Why? We don't need it.
I know, but I'm giving it to you anyway.
Oh, God.
You ready, Lucas? In
ready.
3,
ready.
2, 1. What you at, Lucas?
142.11. Sorry, that wasn't Lucas.
409.
Okay. All right, and we are back. So we took a little break. Lucas does not. He has not entered the dragon. And we're about to play some question block. That's not a game. I don't know what I'm saying, but we're here anyways. We're doing it live. So yeah, I actually have the first question. If you'd like to give us a question to read on the show, you can too by going to patreon.com/Infendo Radio. So this one comes from our executive producer, Hack's Life. Let's create a little bit of controversy. If you could improve the current show in one way, what changes would you make and why? I'm assuming he's talking about Infendo Radio. So I am going to go first. I know exactly what I want to do. We've talked about this internally a lot, but probably one of the first things I'd like to do is get us over to Twitch, because that seems like you know, YouTube's really cool and everything for live streaming, but like Twitch is like gaming, man. So like that, I think that's where we need to be, you know?
Yeah, I totally get that. Mine is kind of a nitpicky one, I guess. It's not really a necessity, but it sure would be nice if money were endless and gold flowed from the rivers. I would love us to get some like really, like, we have good mics now, but like I'd like us to get some of those like the one you were looking at the other day, that really nice noise canceling mic. Like you and I have even talked about this privately. Like Eugene and I would both like to have like a little studio room that's like all lined with foam that we can have like perfect recording for, and like I want that just for the YouTube stuff anyway, let alone for the show. But like I think that next level of like recording equipment would be fantastic, because then like you might not hear all the squeaking in my chair when I rock back and forth, and like hell, maybe a new chair, like stuff like that.
Right.
It's kind of that next tier of, you know, quality audio. But
right.
I got a nice mic from my buddy, so I'm good for now.
Sure, sure.
Steve, we can't hear you.
Oh, we lost Steve. Steve's dead. Steve
Steve took that
that microphone comment to heart.
He's getting a new mic right now. He's plugging it in.
It's getting on Amazon Prime right now. No, so I'm going to jump in with you though. But yeah, that's actually part of my goals too, to like, you know, little by little upgrade my recording equipment and everything. Like I kickstarted this Indiegogo microphone. It's called like the M Drill 1 or something like that, I think. And it's got like noise canceling and all this stuff. It's a really expensive mic. I mean, it's about as expensive as a Yeti. I think it's like, I kickstarted it for like 160 or Indiegogo'd it or whatever. But yeah, like that's only going to help. Like, and not only is that going to help the show quality, and my editing is going to, you know, not have to, you know, suffer. So yeah, I see Steve's syncing problem. So let's pause here real quick and then let's do that.
Kirby, he's saving the day. Kirby, he's here to stay. You won't believe your eyes, Kirby.
Can you hear me now? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Right back.
Okay. Hang on. Let me save. My recording had froze, but it was while I wasn't talking anyway, so it's fine.
That's work. Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever, you know, if there's an awkward pause or whatever, that's fine. So let me just save this recording real quick, and then we'll sync back up real quick, and then I'll jump in with my answer. Yay!
Sounds good. It'll be like it never happened.
It is going to. It's going to be a fun thing for you. You have
so
half
sorry.
of a Justin recording and 2 recordings for me and Steve.
So 434 Gentis. Okay, good. It's only going to take like 30, 40,
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
40 seconds to save my project. Then I'll open a new one.
I like how all of our answers were like, we need better equipment, and not like, we suck at this and need to get better. Like, clearly our minds are that we're doing just fine. We just need better gear.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Well, I guess I did have one other thought that was not gear centric, but I'm gonna let Steve talk for the last little bit that we have, and then maybe I'll jump in.
Can you pause your timer?
I already did. Yeah, I did.
Okay,
I paused it. There's a minute and 43 left.
I guess I will say, while Steve is saving, that like we are always working on improving. Like,
Yeah.
so we're trying to better ourselves and better our gear and better how we talk to you guys. So take that to heart. We care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you have suggestions, you can send them to us for sure. Like, we'd love to hear those too. Like tips@infendo.com, hit us up on Twitter, like, you know.
Ratings on our iTunes, like literally anything. It's great. We love
Oh, by the way, while we're on that, for you listeners, tips@infendo.com actually goes to all 4 of us. So all 4 of us can see that immediately, which is actually pretty cool. So if you ever want to get in touch with us, you know, and not email us individually, that's how you do it. Okay, I'm recording again, by the way.
Okay, let's sync up real quick, and then I'll let you jump in with your points here. So in 3, 2, 1.
18
What's
seconds.
she at? Cool. Let's see. 18 seconds.
I guess if you wanted to, you could just ask me what I would improve again like you did before, since
That'll
that's where
work.
we realized I was gone.
Be like, that's it for me. What about you, Steve? What would you think?
Oh, God.
All right, Steve. So why don't you tell us about your little piece here of Hax's question?
So the biggest thing that I want actually is an actual room to record in. For those of you that haven't seen my recording setup, I've got my computer and a second screen sitting on 2 TV trays, and I'm on a patio chair. I just want an office to record in where I could actually be somewhat comfortable. So that would be my way of improving the show. As far as like, you know, actually improving what we do, I'm kind of already taking steps towards that. I've always wanted to have a capture card and record gameplay and commentary, and I just got one of those last week. I just haven't had a chance to capture anything yet. So I am actually working on that. So.
Yep. And then so I speaking on what we talked about when nothing happened at all with the recording, I would like to, not like equipment wise or anything like that, and we've talked about this type of stuff internally for sure, but like I would like to get to a point where we are like, you know, like every intro and every outro, like maybe I've seen it on some podcasts, like where they, you know, have like a pre-recorded intro, pre-recorded outro with like all the plugs and all that bullshit. Like like maybe that would be nice to do, or like maybe have a script that we read every time, you know, just to kind of keep the consistency. Because I mean, it kind of is nice to have the cold opens, but you know, it at the same time we don't.
Well, but how many times have we forgotten the executive producer or something like that?
Yeah.
In that same vein too, we actually just like tonight, thanks to Eugene, started putting other like cards up for other YouTube videos you can visit, cards for like donation play, like you can donate to like children's charities and stuff through our YouTube videos. Like we just started like interconnecting all of our videos on YouTube, both the stuff that you're seeing now that will have that, and like the Infendo plays and everything else that we do on YouTube. So like that's another area where I feel like we finally hit that next. It's baby steps. It's like every day it's like there's a new little advancement. That's the goal. So
well,
I feel like we went way too long on Hax's question, but
sure. Yeah. Well, there's 5 seconds left if you want to jump in for the last part, Steve.
If you think of everything we've done over the last even a year since I joined the show, we went from recording, you know, not live on Wednesday nights. Now we've got a live show, we've got a Patreon, we've got a merch store, you know, we have a YouTube channel with content going up every couple of days. We've
Tell us more about how great we are, Steve.
So no, I'm impressed with what we've done, and I'm excited to see what we can do.
For sure. All right, Steve. Well, why don't you take us away with Minus? Oh wait, I think I was going to take.
You're taking that one, yeah.
Eugene, why don't you take us away with Minus? Okay, Eugene, why don't you stop following me around and stuff? Okay, maybe I will. All right, here we go. Here is Minus 64's question. Give me your best theories as to why Peach keeps getting captured by Bowser.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Damn it, Steve, you stole mine.
My honest answer would be that Sonic, Jesus, that Mario at a time like, you know, in the early 80s when that was kind of the thing, right? Like in the movies there would be the woman that needed to be saved, and then here comes your trusty carpenter or plumber, depending on your game, Mario. So yeah, I don't know, that I just think it's kind of just what a sign of the times.
That's a stupid answer, and I'm going to tell you why. More security in the Mushroom Kingdom castle. That's all it takes. She has dumb little toads who tremble and hide behind her with little paper-thin spears as her bodyguards. And everybody's like, why does she keep getting kidnapped? You give those toads some decent swords and shields, some training, you get a militia going, and all of a sudden, Bowser's not knocking at your door no more because those toads are stabbing him right in his little lizard chest. That's all it takes, people. A little training, some funding into the Mushroom Kingdom military instead of buying cakes every week. And you're safe. No more kidnappings. I guarantee it.
So what you're saying is we need to get the Toads AR-15s?
That's exactly God.
I'm saying. That is not even something I want to joke about. That's why I went with swords and shields, Steve.
That went downhill fast.
Yeah.
You're the one that said military. What else am I supposed to think?
So real talk, I would say that, honestly, I think that's really is why, because of, sign of the times. But why does it keep happening? Because it's easy, that's just kind of like what Mario and Peach, that's just their dynamic,
I like that, me and Steve are in the canon of Mario, and you're like, why from a game design perspective?
I had a thought and I just lost it. No joke.
I will say that, even though it's incredibly simple and basic, the Mario, Peach, Bowser, love triangle is my favorite thing. Because I am as much a fan of Peach and Bowser as I am of Mario and Peach.
Yet you didn't buy the amiibos.
I don't need that. That's $15 a piece.
But what about the timeline, Lucas? I want to know. We need to sit down for an entire episode, a round table, if you will, and we need to map out. We need to map out the Mario timeline, because I think this is critical information that our listeners want to know.
Don't even get me started on the Mario timeline.
He's already got a fucking Google spreadsheet started, Steve. You don't know what you want.
Well, I think that talking about the Mario timeline is really just a fantasy. We need to stop shooting for the. We need to stop shooting for the stars. Get our butts online here and go to our next question, which is not question.
He even put 2 in there.
And that question comes from Dr. Johnny 5, and it is a very long question. So stick with me for a minute here. I'm going to read the whole thing, and then we can chat it up. What do you think about Phantasy Star Online 2 coming to the Switch in Japan and seemingly only being a Japanese exclusive? The bigger question with this is, what do you think of bigger Japanese titles only coming to Japan, such as Monster Hunter Double Cross, which has been talked about in the past, but also Dragon Quest Heroes, among others? Phantasy Star Online 2 only coming to Japan has me worried that we're going to miss out on a lot of great Japanese games. I personally am surprised that they are only coming to Japan. Everything sells on the Switch, and you could have... On the Switch, you could, even if they bought a silly Barbie game to the Switch, it would be a 1 million copy seller in a week. So what gives? I would like to start off this question because I think, no, Eugene has a Japanese eShop account too. He showed me how to set it up. I think I'm the only one who really takes advantage of his Japanese account. I have like 2 or 3 big games that only came out in Japan. I understand why some games don't get translated over. They think that it's not worth the price to do it, even if it's a digital-only kind of thing, which seems kind of silly because digital is a lot cheaper to produce than physical, as I understand it. But I get it. Certain games just don't have that appeal. The Dragon Quest series, like you mentioned, has never been a series that, and as far as I've known, has done as well overseas as it has in Japan. Right. Monster Hunter, I guess. I don't really know the statistics on that. But it sucks. It sucks not having those games. My take on it, though, my personal opinion on like this whole subject matter is, at least for the first time in my life, I have the option, even though it's a difficult option, to buy those games if I'm really interested in them. I own Dragon Quest Heroes. I own Monster Hunter Double Cross. I will probably end up getting Phantasy Star Online 2 if I can get it and play it with other people, because I don't know how the servers will work in a Japanese-only game. I assume they'll work well like they did in Monster Hunter, but who really knows? But as much as it sucks that like games like that aren't coming over to the States, at the very least, we have an option that we never had on Nintendo systems before, which is to convert our money into yen and buy those games and play them in Japanese, which isn't for everyone, but it's a lot better than not getting the game at all. So like that's where I stand on it.
So it's no secret that I am vehemently against buying games off the Japanese eShop. I am one of these stubborn, I guess is the word I'm looking for, people that is kind of all about voting with your wallet. And I feel that if we're all setting up Japanese eShop accounts and buying it off the Japanese eShop, then we're not really making a statement saying, you know, hey, you know, I'm not going to buy this unless it comes over to America. And I know that unfortunately it doesn't work, but for me, it actually makes me feel okay. I think it's a little ridiculous for a lot of games, especially, and I've talked about this before, Double Cross, where it's translated. It's entirely translated except for maybe a couple of new monsters that are in Double Cross that were not in Generations. I don't understand why it's so difficult, especially on that one. Phantasy Star, I can kind of understand why it may not get translated, because isn't that a very text-heavy game?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I can see how that one would be crazy expensive, you know, to do. But there's plenty of companies out there right now that are willing to do these ports. Right. There's a company out there that wants to port Monster Hunter World to Switch. I don't think it'll ever happen. And I'm not sure the Switch could handle it, to be honest. I mean, it probably could, but I don't know. I don't understand how that works. Right. You know, so it's just disappointing, I guess, to me.
So I'm going to jump in here, and because that last couple of sentences really stuck with me about how he said that if they brought a silly Barbie game to Switch, it would be a million seller. I don't know if it would necessarily be a million seller, but I remember back on the, you know, even dating back to the end of the Wii days, the thoughts of all the third parties as to why they wouldn't bring their games to the Nintendo consoles is because they just don't sell. But like, it seems like third-party games are selling on the Switch and selling a lot. Like, there's been reports of like indie games that have sold like 40 times more on Switch than they have like on Steam. Than they have like on Steam or other consoles or on other places, you know. So like, to kind of close off the topic, what do I think about these Japanese games not coming potentially to the American eShop? I just think it's a shame. I think it's wasted potential. Like, I think if Monster Hunter Double Cross came as a digital version only to the American eShop, like, I think people would eat that up. Like, it wouldn't sell definitely not nearly as much as like what Monster Hunter World is selling like on PS4 and everything else, right? But like, I mean, Switch owners have that they have that desire to play those types of games, and I think people would buy that.
I do just want to, as like a closing statement for all the Monster Hunter talk, say that when you go on to like a post about Monster Hunter World, almost all of the Nintendo gamers say, forget World, just give me an English version of Double Cross. Like, that seems to be what the Nintendo only Monster Hunter fan base, whatever is left of that, is clamoring for. They don't need an entirely new game. They just want the game that they already can get.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah, it's
Right.
in that case, it is really true. It would be a little more work than you think, because there's a lot of new text and stuff, but it wouldn't be nearly the giant project that like a game like Phantasy Star would be. So really, it just seems to be a cost thing, and for whatever reason, they don't think it would be effective. But it's a shame.
Yeah, and then so yeah, it's just crazy. I really wish that they would just bring that stuff over, man. Like, everybody wants it. Like, like, just give the gamers what they want. Like Steve said, it shouldn't be that difficult. It seems like the game's mostly translated. But okay, timer timed. Let's move on. Steve, talk to us about Jay-Z Beast.
All right, so Jay-Z Beast asks, you know what's been missing for a while? Movie tie-in games. How would you guys feel if we got a resurgence of, preferably good, movie tie-ins besides Star Wars and Lord of the Rings? I don't know. I just remember so many bad movie tie-in games that now I see them and it's just like, oh, geez, here we go.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to see some new ones. The only problem is there's not really that many movies out right now that I'd be interested to play the video game of.
Okay, fuck you. Give me Marvel Ultimate Alliance or something like that. Like, with all this new Marvel stuff going on, do you guys remember those games, like the X-Men Legends games? Like, they were kind of like Diablo for like Marvel. Give me that.
So what you're saying is turn Avengers Infinity War into Marvel Ultimate Alliance?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is kind of crossing the streams here, but we are getting a new Tomb Raider movie in like a month. I don't like really anything I've seen about it, but people are excited for it. I guess we could get a movie based off could get a game based off a movie, which is based off a game, if you want to go that awkward route.
God, we haven't done that in a while.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
I think there was a Lego movie video game that was based on the movie.
Yeah,
Lego the movie, the game.
Yeah, like the Lego movie, the video game.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of some movies that have come out that would be fun to play as games, and honestly, I can't think of that many. The problem with movie tie-in games, and the reason why I always felt like I got so burned on them, other than maybe like the Spider-Man games, those were pretty well done, is that they're usually just cheap cash-ins, and they're usually just like awkward kind of semi beat-em-up games where you just kind of go around into a room and beat up a bunch of enemies, and then you go to the next room, and you just keep doing that for like 5 hours, and then the game is over. Like, I can't really think of a single movie that's come out besides like the big name license stuff.
Jay-Z has a good idea.
You know,
he says,
"What's his thought?" Pacific Rim. I could see it. Yeah. Honestly, this is kind of going into our next question, but I want to play a Super Mario Brothers the movie, the game. Yeah, I want to play that. I want a game. God. I want a game based on the 80s movie that is my favorite bad movie.
Yeah, and Kevin Bell just stole my thought. Ready Player One would make
really that's a good idea.
Game.
Ready Player One could be cool, but honestly, I'd rather just play like an original MMO. Like, I have a confession. I don't really like game or movies about video games. Like, when I was in college, everyone was like, Wreck-It Ralph is gonna be so good, and I was like, I don't care. And I saw it, and I was like, I don't care. Like, I don't get hyped for video game related movies. I don't know why. It's just like a personal turnoff for me.
Sure.
Well, since you bring that up, one thing I do want to see, the game that was in Wreck-It Ralph that feel like
the racing game?
No, not the racing one, the other one.
The game that was in the movie about video games.
It was
Fix
like
It Felix. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I want Just Fix It Felix to be on the Switch.
That'd be cool, actually.
You could put the Switch in vertical mode. It'd be great.
All right. Why don't you read us our final Patreon question, Steve?
All right. What is the worst video game movie you have ever seen? Resident Evil 1. Period. Like, I know Mario Brothers is a bad movie, but I love Mario Brothers.
So much fun.
I love Mario Brothers. But yeah,
Have you
the
ever
original
seen Blood
Resident
Rain?
Evil movie. No, I never did see Blood Rain.
Oh,
Is it
God.
awful?
Anything Uwe Ball is god awful.
Huh.
Blood Rain is one of those.
I will say the Street Fighter movie was pretty garbage.
I didn't see
There's
that
really
one
nothing
either.
about that movie that appealed to me. It's a fun movie to make fun of, but that's about it.
Which one? Which one? The first or the second?
I honestly don't know. I watched a Street Fighter movie.
Well, yeah, there was Street Fighter, and then there was Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li.
I don't know. Probably the Street Fighter then, because I don't think this one was about Chun-Li.
And interestingly enough, I think there was a video game based on that movie.
Another movie that was pretty awful was the Sonic the Hedgehog OVA that came out in like the 90s with that. It was just a cartoon Sonic movie, but like it didn't really follow a plot. It was very confusing and all over the place. The voice acting was awful. Knuckles wore a little like Crocodile Dundee hat for some reason. And it has that quote that I love to reference where like they're colliding with each other, him and Metal Sonic, and he's like, "You know everything that I'm going to do, but I know everything that you're going to do. Strange, isn't it?" And then they just like Dragon Ball Z all over the screen. But like it's bad. It's really bad. Like it's not even Mario Brothers bad where like it's fun to watch. It's just like cringy and bad. So that's the thing.
Sure. I don't know if you guys have. God, I don't know why I've seen all of his shit, but it's so bad it's good almost. But all of Uwe Ball's stuff, if you've never seen any of that stuff, he does a lot of freaking video game movies. So he's done like Blood Rain, he's done Alone in the Dark, he did Far Cry, he did a Rampage movie.
There's a new Rampage movie coming out.
Yes, I want to see that. It's got The Rock, it's got Negan. I'm so excited for that.
Sure. Well, don't watch it if Uwe Ball touched it because it's most likely terrible. But there was a bunch of stuff that came out in the 90s too. What about like the Mortal Kombat movies? Those ones were
I love
terrible.
those movies. They're not good, but I love them.
Annihilation is kind of bad.
Oh, it's awful, but I love it.
I want to slowly shift the conversation before we get out of it and deliver a little PSA. There are some solid like fan movies out there. Like I had watched a Mega Man fan movie that was pretty legit, and it was like a full length thing. I'd seen like a Legend of Zelda movie that was interesting. Like back in college, I used to dabble with like those fan made, like kind of big budget. Like they got a few $100,000 to like make a movie, and it was just kind of like a homemade kind of thing. There's some cool stuff out there on the internet if you want to look for it. So that's kind of the reverse of the question, but.
I do like the Silent Hill movies. Like my wife and I will watch those whenever they're on.
Sure. Oh, I didn't even know there were Silent Hill movies, actually, to be honest with you.
Again, they're not great, but they're not bad.
Sure. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the question block. Again, if you'd like to submit a question for us to read on the show, you can too by going to patreon.com/InfendoRadio or Infendo.com because there's a little button up there now that you can click. It takes you to our Patreon channel. All right, so we're gonna move on into Change the System. Guys, has anybody been playing anything exciting this week?
I have.
Go, Lucas.
If you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, you know that I played a bunch of Kirby ROM hacks the other day. Without going into too much detail and boring everybody's pants off, there were a couple of really cool ones out there. The coolest one that I played was something called Kirby's Bizarre Adventure. It is so much fun. I think it's a work in progress. I originally found this guy's ROM hack from like 2014. Then I found out, I almost gave up on finding it. Then I found out he reworked on it and he was working on it again in 2017. I downloaded the demo of it. I don't know how far it gets because I only got through like the first world and a half. But it's Kirby's Adventure for the Nintendo Entertainment System. You cannot fly.
Oh, no.
All of the levels have been like redesigned to take advantage of that. If you go and you watch the video, it's the last one that I cover. Like you'll see some of the puzzles he threw in, like spinies that you have to like fireball against walls to like climb up. There's big gaps that you have to like latch onto a bridge to and stuff. It's a cool game and it's hard. Like it's a real challenge. It was so much fun. Like I want to play through the whole thing and see how far he got in designing the levels because it's a really cool game and I had a lot of fun playing it. Besides that, I played a little Splatoon 2 over the weekend. I played Rocket League the other night with Mike and Steve. That was a lot of fun. Other than that, I played a lot of Escapists as well. That one that you guys couldn't guess on Nintendo Tunes. But I'm thinking that was just about it. I'm kind of bummed out right now and kind of put off towards Splatoon anymore because I realized that the DLC doesn't come out until like August, and that kind of sucks. I mean, I'm always playing Rocket League. Oh, and my Danmaku Unlimited 3 review came out this week or early last week. So I played a lot more of that. It's a fun game. And I'm realizing like I never really touched easy mode until I did the review. Like I realized it really is accommodating. Like you can get to like the end worlds even sucking at this kind of game on easy mode. Then when you get to like true difficulty, it's just like death. But it's a cool game. I really can't say enough about how much I love that game.
Awesome.
I've played
Say
the
that
Kirby
game again.
Star
How do you pronounce it? Danmaku.
Danmaku Unlimited 3. If you guys love us or even just like us or tolerate us because you listen to us every week, they sent us an early review copy for the game. It was the best early review copy of like a game I've ever played. And honestly, the fact that they supported us by sending us a copy of it meant a lot to me because like, hey, we're trying to be something too. And their game is really phenomenal. Like with or without the review copy, it's a fantastic game. So like show them some love, download the game. It's a really cool game. It deserves their love. Like I was saying, the only other thing I've been playing a lot of is the Kirby Star Allies demo because I want that game. But until I get that game, playing the demo over and over and over again is my way of coping. So that's what I've been doing. Those are all my games.
Okay. Eugene, you care if I go next?
Hit it, buddy.
Okay. So I did play a little bit of Splatoon, I think, at some point this last weekend. I don't remember exactly. Like Lucas said, I know for sure I played Rocket League with him and Mike. Had a really good time. I played mostly in handheld that night because my wife was still up. So I was just playing kind of that way. And then my Switch started to die, so I switched over to the big screen. You don't really notice how big of a deal it is moving from the handheld mode to the TV. But my God, does it make a difference when you're playing Rocket League. I don't know why. Like, I don't think it performs that much better, but it is noticeable.
It does.
Yeah. Actually, I think it's I don't know if it's the resolution or the frame rate that I noticed, but it's definitely something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was floored when I did that back to back like that. I'm a little worried for when I start Bayonetta 1 because I plan on playing that mostly in handheld, but I've heard it does not look great when you're playing in docked mode because it's, a 10, 15-year-old game, whatever. And, I have just heard it didn't age very well, unfortunately, even with the new coat of paint.
I think unless you're picky about your visuals,
which I'm not.
That's not going to be an issue. It's going to look as good as it looked on the Wii U, if not, slightly better.
And the other thing for me too is I don't have anything to compare it to because I've never seen that game before. Yeah. So for me, I probably won't notice anything.
Well, you also kind of don't have a choice because like the only systems it's been out on are older systems and Switch. So like this is as good looking as it gets.
Right. So, but where I spent the bulk of my week this week was playing Shantae and the Shantae Half Genie Hero. God, I almost got that backwards. I think I started it on Sunday afternoon, and I'm wanting to say it took me roughly 7 hours to 100% the Shantae campaign. It was rough. Like, it's one thing to play all those levels through, and they're all good levels. The music's good, the level design's good. But then when you really have to start backtracking with the abilities through these same levels over and over, it does get very tedious. I remember, and Lucas and I had this discussion.
Have you already played that game before too?
No, this is my first time playing Half Genie Hero. I waited on that one because it didn't come to 3DS, and I didn't want to buy it on Vita. And then I found out it was coming to Switch, so I figured that was going to be my console of choice. My God, does it get tedious towards the end of the game when you have to get those last couple of things. I know Lucas didn't finish all the backtracking, which I get because I was struggling to get through it.
That was what made me quit.
Yeah, actually. And then I think it was like Thursday night or something like that. I started the Risky Boots DLC, which I think is called the Pirate Queen's Quest, if I remember right. And my God, was I disappointed with that. It was short. It was the same levels. And I really hate to make this comparison, but I knew it was coming. It really felt like a wannabe Shovel Knight, unfortunately. They tried to do like with Plague Knight, where you would go through the same levels and there were some new areas that were exclusive to him and everything, except for they didn't put any new areas that were exclusive to Risky. It was literally the same levels over and over, just from a different point of view from a certain point in the story.
Sure.
So I finished that in 3.5 hours. I was able to 100% that DLC. And I seem to remember that being, it was anywhere from $5 to $8 for that DLC. I don't remember. So I found that to be a little disappointing as well. Then I started playing the Friends Till the End DLC, which is currently the last DLC that's out there. They've got one more on the way. And in this one, you switch between 3 of her friends, Sky, Bolo, and Roddy Tops. And they each have a different ability that they can do. So Sky can throw eggs and these little birds hatch, and you can use them as platforms. But then she's got a special ability that uses magic, where she's got this shield that'll come up and protect her. Sure. Bolo can break through solid obstacles, and he's got a grapple ability. And then his special one, he throws a metal ball that bounces around the stage to kill enemies. And
can
then
you cycle between all 3 characters
at will? Yeah.
That sounds a lot like Trine. Have you ever played Trine?
No, but I need
Trine.
to. So, and then let's see, Roddy Tops can throw her head and move through barriers. Like, so she'll throw her head, and as long as it lands in a safe place, her body will go to where her head is. Sure. And then I don't even remember what her special ability was. The long and short of it, though, it's the same fucking levels again. And I am about sick of doing these levels. At least in the Spectre of Torment campaign, they gave you brand new redesigned levels with brand new music. This is the same levels that I've played countless times already. And it uses retro music from the entire series, which is kind of cool. But I'm just kind of done with it at this point. I'm going to have a very hard time finishing this campaign.
Sure.
I don't mean to make everything about me and my life, but you're actually teaching me a lot of important stuff for what not to do and what I'm working on. Because like I never even would have thought of like different things in the same levels for different characters. But like that makes a lot of freaking sense. Don't just have different characters in exactly the same levels.
And I'm not trying to really tear this game down. Like, I'm enjoying it. If I had to rate it, I would probably give it either a 3.5 or a 4. But my God, it's just a lot of the same.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the same.
Well, and that was a problem I had with the game in the first campaign, was just it felt like a lot of backtracking and repetition, and just how much can you do before it gets boring, you know?
Well, yeah, like Shovel Knight, you can 2-3 times through these levels, you've got everything. Shantae, it takes anywhere from 5 to 7 per level to get everything. So anyway. It's not impressed.
It killed the game for me. Like I was playing, I was like, oh cool, Shantae, I'm having fun again. And then like I got to the point where like I couldn't find anything I needed, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like
sure. Yeah, that could be too much. All right. Well, did you have anything else, Steve, before I take over my change the system?
No, actually, I think that's all I've played. I'm just excited to get back into Skyrim. I'm trying to finish Shantae so I can spend the next couple months on Skyrim before my next few games come out. So
cool. Fair enough. All right. Well, my change the system will be pretty short. I haven't played a lot of games again this week. Sorry, guys. We talked about it already. Kind of in a gaming slump. I always find time for fucking PUBG though, so like there's always that. I'll always find a few rounds of that. But I guess the only thing of note that I played on Nintendo consoles this week was that I purchased 2 games for the Switch. I bought Disc Jam, which I barely have even turned on.
Oh God.
And I bought Blossom Tales because I've been yearning for like a top-down Zelda-y type game. So that I figured that would, fill that itch. Haven't played much of either, but I'm excited to play them both. So yeah, those will probably be talked about a little bit more next week. But yeah, those are my 2 latest purchases, anyways. Just haven't gotten a lot of time with them. So yeah. All right, well, that is the end of my change of system. God, I'm boring. But I guess that brings it to the end of the show when we're not boring. So, yeah, I guess there's that. All right, guys, we have a fine individual to thank this month for bringing us the show. That's our executive producer, Hackslife. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for being an executive producer this month. We really appreciate that. I think we say this every week, but we probably wouldn't be here without you. So thank you for doing that. You and of course all the other, patrons. But you're our executive producer, so you get the tip of the hat. Thank you very much. All right, guys. So you all ready to get out of here? I think it's been a show, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Been a show.
Mm-hmm. We did it. We made it through the end of episode 434. It was an onomatopoeia episode. That's kind of exciting. But yeah, we're out of here, guys. Where can we find y'all online? Lucas, you've got some adventures that you want to talk about.
You could say they're very colorful ones. Yeah, I run my own Patreon aside from our Infendo Patreon because I enjoy money and it's hard to come by in this world. So that is my kind of weird Hue Adventure Patreon, where I kind of go for early access content on the game I'm working on, which is Hue Adventure, which you should probably know about by now because I talked about it like 5 times on this episode. But yeah, if you're interested in getting involved on that, any amount is great. $5 a month, you get access to whatever it is I'm working on for the month. That is patreon.com/Hue Adventure. Other than that, really, is I don't know. Go to our YouTube page. I just made a new video. I love our YouTube page. That's where I spend all my free time. Get subscribed. Watch all the stuff we do. My official Twitter is @LucasPeace_. That's where I post my game design updates. I don't post very much, though, because I'm kind of like saving it all for the end of the month. That's kind of all I got. I mean, I've got a lot of places to go. They're not all that interesting. So just hit up my Patreon. That would be great. I'd really appreciate that. Steven?
Wow, I was waiting for Eugene, but fine, if you want to say it. You can find me at Twitter on... wow, I can't believe I just fucked that up. You can find me at Twitter at Gentis1. You can find me buying all of our merch, so there's none left for you guys. And that our merch store is www.designbyhumans.com/shop/Infendo. Or you can just go to infendo.com and click on the button there, because I was getting there, Lucas. I just got a capture card, so I will be posting stuff to my YouTube channel, which is in my pinned tweet, so come find me there. I might start a little Minecraft tutorial series for stuff I've learned how to build that you might find useful. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, let me know. And I think that's everything I've got this week.
Very nice. All right. Well, you can find me online at Infendo Eugene. I sometimes retweet some shit over there. I'll like your posts if you're my friend. If you want to follow what Infendo is doing, you can follow us at Infendo on Twitter. As Steve mentioned right before this, you can also go to infendo.com and see all of our cool stuff there. There's links to our merch shop on the top. You can join our Discord from there. You can join our Patreon and become our patron for the month. All kinds of cool stuff. We'd really appreciate it if you, even just stopped on by and left us a comment on one of our reviews or one of our videos or anything like that. So that'd be really cool to see. But yeah, other than that, you can find me on Facebook, but I'm usually probably just getting in fights with a bunch of conservatives on some right-leaning websites, because that's what I do. And yeah, that's it, guys. We're going to get out of here. before I lose us some patrons for talking politics, because we're not about politics. We're about motherfucking games. So
We talk about game politics.
Yeah, that's right. Fuck you, Jack.
and politics games. Have you ever played Papers, Please? That's an interesting one.
Actually, that's a really fucking good game. Hey, there's an indie game I'd like to see on Switch.
That's fair.
Jeez.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to get out of here for the night, but thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Bye. Mwah.
I didn't think we were going to
Oh, I drove him away with the kid.
Oh, no, he said Phantom said in the chat that his voice is hoarse, so he's bouncing right after that.
Yeah, he barely had a voice as it was.
Okay, I thought my kiss just that was it. He's done. He's gone.
But we still got Minus in here. JZ Beast is still in the chat. Dr. Johnny's with us. Hey, Dr. Johnny, thanks for joining us in the chat tonight. I think you were with us last week, but thank you for being our patron. That's really awesome. Really appreciate that. All right, we're going to end the live stream, but we're going to try a thing because you could probably subscribe to us over here somewhere.
Or up here. Down there, or maybe. Click on Steve's face.
Videos. Oh yeah, click on Steve's face.
If you click on Steve's face, you'll get a link to some really cheap real estate in the Los Angeles area.
Actually, it's Las Vegas is the calls I keep getting.
We have end screen stuff, so subscribe to us if you haven't yet. If you made it to this far, we'd appreciate it. Bye, guys.